Let's just talk about the mends. So I cast across and I pull it back, and now what I'm going to do is mend. Now look what I've done. This is an important concept in mending. Number one, have your line clean, have your leader clean. And then what you're going to do is the whole rod goes up and over like this. If you just do the tip, it won't work. You've got to pull the whole line off the water with your rod. So you're lifting the rod up in the air and pulling the whole line off the water. Let's do that again. You bring it back. Now watch what I do. The whole line comes off the water. And it's a slow motion right here. It's a lot easier to do with a dry fly or with a nymph than a dry fly because it doesn't disturb because you've got some weight, you won't pull it out of the water so easy. So now, once you get that down, you might want to do it over this shoulder. Pull, 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 pull. Now I usually come to this side and reach up. So now it's your initial one is just this. Your initial thing is this to get the line. You can practice, watch how I'm practicing. What I want is that line in a straight line behind my fly. That's ideal. That fly is not going to drag if that's what I've done. If I don't quite finish it, I get to here and I do this, the leader is not, that leader is we're going to drag right there. There's no way that's not going to drag. So I need to get leader, line, and everything directly above my fly. And the way you do that is, again, slow up and over. Even at some distance, you can do it. Let's say I've got a fish way over there. Watch. Did the same thing way over there. So even though I've got to fly a long ways away, by lifting my rod, just did a perfect mend right behind my fly. So that's what you want to do. And the practice is this. It's a whole big sweep. Now, the next thing is, how do we stack mend? Because that's the second part of this whole thing. How do we stack mend? So we've gotten to here, and now we want to stack mend. You want all your mends directly behind your fly. And you can see I'm putting them directly behind my fly. If I do that, I can send that fly a long ways. It can be 60, 70, 80, 100 feet downstream. You may have trouble hooking the fish and landing it, but you're going to get a long drift a long way down. So we need to learn how to stack mend. So here we go. We're going to pull it. We're going to put our first mend up. Whoops, that's a little hard, but that's okay. It's still in front. Now, the secret to mending is you got to put your rod down and flip it up. Down and flip it up. Down and flip it up. And you have to have enough slack that you can afford to pull your line back. So that's why we do this. You pull back to here and you do that. Now look at the slack I've got. I got a bunch of slack. That slack is taken up when I bring my rod tip back, but look how far I bring my rod tip back. And I have to continually throw line behind the fly by lifting the rod back here and then flipping. Lifting the rod and flipping. And you're using the tip now. This time you're going to use the tip. Watch again, watch the tip of the rod. No tip, now watch. Tip, 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 tip. Stack mending right behind. Look at that pile of line right there. There's your stack mend. And now, in this case, you may have to start doing this. This is a little different. And the way you feed line is this way. This moves your fly, tends to move your fly. This doesn't move your fly. So what you're doing is up, up and flip, up and flip, up and flip, up and flip, and thrust and flip. So what I'm doing is thrusting, flipping, thrusting, flipping, thrusting and flipping, just like that. So first thing, you can't really see it, but I've put some slack in. Now what I do, I thrust forward and up. and then grab the line with this hand and then this finger. Because now if a fish hits while I'm doing all this, I still need to set the line, set the hook. And remember, all we're doing is raising the rod tip. So here we go. Now we're going to do this in slow motion so you can see what we're doing. So we'll just watch this first and then we'll watch what happens at the end of the rod. So I've got some slack and I'm throwing it forward and up. Now watch what I'm really doing. I'm not using a lot of arm. All the time catching the line here and catching the line here. So it's a flip and a push. So I'm pushing with this hand, push, grab. Come back to here, here we go. Push, grab, or go forward, drive it forward and grab until you're to this position here. But you're always in this position, so in case a fish hits, you can set the hook. Now watch my tip, and you're gonna see that just the tip is flexing, and you can see how high I'm throwing that line. But it's vertically. It's not this way, it's up. What that does is allows me to not move the fly. It's a violent move with just the wrist and the tip. And you can see this line is moving forward. You can see that mend sliding down as it comes off. So if you need to feed line after it's in the water, don't go doing this, do it quick. Say I decide I've got to do some line right here. Got my stack mend now. Flip, flip. I'm flipping it behind the fly. Don't flip it over here. That's going to cause drag. Flip it behind the fly, like this. Every time you flip, what you're going to do, you're going to flip and grab, flip and grab, flip and grab. You've got to keep grabbing this because you got a ton of slack, and if a fish hits, you're going to need this finger to set the hook. And we'll talk about that in the setting the hook video. So those are pretty much what we're doing with to get a downstream drift. Just up, here, a little too much, pull it back again, in line, here, 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 here. Just keep stacking that line up right behind the fly. Even at a longer distance, you can do the same thing. Right there, stack, 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 stack. You're going to have to use your tip and get it up in the air to stack at that long a distance. I'll try to go even farther to make a point, although I'd never fish that far away usually. It'd be an unusual situation for me to fish that far away, but watch. Okay, a little bit too much oomph. Perfect. Now watch. Flip, flip. That one didn't quite go, so I got to get it. There we go. Now I've got another one. Those stacks are right behind that fly. That fly is going with the current. It's actually some of the line is caught in those weeds. But you get the idea that even at a distance, if you're willing to take your rod back here and really, it's a roll cast kind of motion. It's a flip motion with, and if you should get into chapter 1s and 2s, and it talks about tip casting. Tip casting is really important to understand what to do with the tip. Now we're going to get, in the next video, we're going to get into setting the hook on a downstream drift and setting the hook in general, and you're going to see that the tip is really something to consider.